Those of you that watch my video realize that I've begun to just dip my toes into the pool of quadcopters. Now, I'm not going to call these things drones, even though that's what everybody in the brother calls them and the industry calls them. I don't believe in that term. They have 4 propellers. It's called a quadcopter. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But anyway, so the last few videos I've posted showed me playing around with a Drone X Pro quadcopter and learning to fly and doing some stuff like that. Now, I say I was dipping my toes into it, but I've kind of like, in the last few weeks, more like jumped into not the baby pool, but a wading pool. Actually, maybe a little bit more than a wading pool, and I'm in up to my thighs about now. So I've done a bit more than just dip my toes in here. I've actually purchased a couple of, and you can see them here on my table. One of them is clearly still a toy. The other one is not so much of a toy. And those of you that are very familiar with these will recognize right away what these are. And the similarity is kind of odd in the external packaging of the case anyway. It seems like one is trying to kind of copy the other, but the external look of the case is about as far as that copying goes, believe me. Other than that, it's complete, not even close. But the first one here I'll show you it's a 4D RC quad. And then the second one is one from a major manufacturer, and it's a Dji Mavic Mini. Now, yes, this does mean that I've jumped in maybe waist deep into the pool of quads. And let me just clarify right away, no, I am not getting back into the hobby. I am doing this strictly from the perspective of learning how to maybe shoot better videos, aerial videos, and maybe take some higher quality pictures. Now, the 4DRC is compliments of American Express points on my card, so I really didn't pay anything for that. The Dji Mavic proceeds from the YouTube channel, so thank you all for watching and subscribing to my channel because you helped pay for this Mavic. So as you can see, the funny thing with these is they both kind of have this strange similar appearance. Now let me open this one up first and show you the contents of that. Now, I did not bring my scale in here, but I need to go and do that. So the contents of this, you've got a zippered pouch here, which has a manual, which is a considerably better manual than what that Drone X Pro had. And it came with your standard stuff, props, screwdriver. It has a phone app that you use. Here's the quad itself. This particular one actually came with 2 batteries. So, I mean, they're not the best batteries at all. They're 7.4 volt, 200 or 2000 milliamp hour batteries. They give me about 8 hours, about 8-9 minutes of flight time. And yes, I have flown this thing rather extensively. Here's the controller for it. Very simplistic. These things are not real antennas, they just are for show. But here's where you would put your phone, your cell phone on, and you still have to basically use the cell phone app to control the camera and that type of thing. Now, the kicker with this particular drone, or and here I just called it a drone too, is that this quad, is that yes, it does have a camera and it can shoot video, but it doesn't have a gimbal on it at all. No gimbal. In fact, you can't even change the angle of this video, so the camera, so you have to actually be positioned in such a way that it can actually capture whatever you want to capture in the frame, because it can't rotate up or down, side to side, or anything like that. Now, this does have GPS capabilities, and it flies fairly decent. I mean, like I said, this is still seriously a toy. It's just a toy. But it's a pretty decent little toy because it's not a bad flyer. I had it out there this morning flying in about 12-mile-an-hour winds, and it was moving around quite a bit, but it's still did alright. And as you can see from this video here, you can see I shot a little bit of aerial photography and a couple of still shots. Now, when this thing shoots, it saves all of that information to your phone because you've got a dedicated Wi-Fi connection between your phone and the quad. So you're kind of limited there as to the quality and the storage space on your phone. So right away I go in there and I download it onto my computer and delete it off my phone, so I'm not, you know, putting too much stuff on my phone. But anyway, toy, pretty decent to learn how to fly on, has GPS, and it's a lot better than this thing. Even though this thing was really fun to cut my teeth on, and I still fly this thing. I mean, I've flown the crap out of this thing and beat the crap out of it. In fact, both of the landing legs on the front rotors are gone. I don't know what happened to them. It still sits flush enough that it can take off fine, but I can also hand launch this thing. So this thing's not too bad. You can see there's a size difference here between these two. This one's a micro compared to this guy. Let's move on to the Dji Mavic Mini here. Now, I ended up getting the Fly More combo, which included the cage for the rotors, so I could fly it in the house. In fact, I was flying it in the house a little bit last night. I think I got some video here that I shot of Angel as she was watching. She's very curious about it. In fact, it wasn't scaring her whatsoever, which was really kind of amazing. But here's the inside of this one. Here I've got my charge cable, charge plug. This thing is a little bit more serious of an item. Everything just feels higher quality. But the Fly More combo, and many of you guys know this, the Fly More combo comes with 3 batteries. And it shows here, I don't know if you can see those lights on the battery or not. I'll just do it here. You can push and you can see the status of the batteries here. Each one of them is full. So this one came with 3 batteries. And the beauty of this particular device is it kind of acts like a battery recharging station. If you're using one battery and you have 2 fully charged, you can actually plug your cell phone into this thing and recharge your cell phone battery and that type of thing. Of course, all of this can be plugged into your car charger or your car USB port too, which is really nice. And like I said, I'm not doing a full review on this. This is supposed to just be a really quick video on this. Now this transmitter on this guy does actually have real antenna there, because this is actually a real machine. So here on the Mavic, you put your cell phone here at the bottom and you have various apps. I've got a Dji app that I can use to fly that has a little bit more features and functionality than the DJI Fly, I think it's called. I don't know what that app is called. But the DJI Fly app actually has a lot more controls for the camera settings than Dji, so it's kind of weird. It's like if you want to change camera settings using Dji, it's probably not going to happen very well, like exposure and stuff like that. This has an integrated battery that also can be charged up, and I can see the status of my battery just by doing a single press there, and you can see it's got 4 LEDs, so it's fully charged. Let's pull this DJI, let's pull the quad out itself here. Now this thing is a real machine. Everything about it just feels so much higher quality. I'm not going to be using this now. So here's the DJI Mavic, and it's got the full gimbal camera. Really nice camera. Here are these two side by side. So you can see this 4DRC is a little bit larger than the DJI, but this thing was flying around in my house with a cage on last night. It was really kind of fun to fly it around like that. But anyway, so these are the 2 items I've got here that are jumping in waist deep now. And as I said, this is what I'm going to be playing with. I'm going to pretty much just be using the 4DRC one just for beating around. I've flown it around my park last week, and today outside in my yard. The Dji Mavic, I've only flown in the house. I'm really not doing too much with this one yet until I get a little bit more skilled at the controls. Not like it really is necessary, because with GPS, you let go of the sticks, it's just going to sit there and stop anyway. So you really can't get into too much trouble. But I'm just going to take my time, play with this guy a lot more, get really a little bit more comfortable flying that. And you can see here on this video here, I actually was flying it around. Of course, that damn camera angle, you know, it kind of sucks though. You got to be up pretty high to actually get anything really interesting. But the Mavic is basically what I'm going to be using when I go out to parks and do on my nature walks and that type of thing. This is what I'm going to be actually using to shoot videos with now, at least aerial videos. So anyway, thank you all for watching.